Do you dream of labor? I want somebody ought to be like, yes, I love laboring. I live for it. I'm so excited on Mondays, like labor. Hey y'all, it's Chimdi. I have a part-time job, all right? If you've been watching my channel, then you already know I got one. I just haven't told y'all what it is yet. So in this video, I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. I'm gonna tell y'all how I got it. I'm gonna tell y'all how I feel about it. Before we get into it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I love all my new family members. Hello, hello, hello. And let me know in the comments, where are you in your job journey? Do you love your job and you staying? Do you hate your job and you wanna quit? Have you already quit so you're living your best life? Did you quit and you were actually real stressed out, is sad and anxious because you're just like, wait a minute, I ain't got no job? We've all been there, okay, at every stage. Well, hopefully you've been at the stage where you actually love your job, because that's the stage that we all deserve if we do want to work traditional 9-to-5s. And I'm very, very excited because I've got a part-time job. It's freelance, so it's not a 9-to-5, and I am genuinely very, very, very excited about it. So shall we just go ahead and start talking about it? All right, y'all, my new freelance employer, the Adobe. Yes, Adobe. From Premiere Pro, from Photoshop, from Illustrator, from After Effects. The list goes on. They got some dope Sensei technology. They doing some dope 3D stuff, y'all. The Creative Cloud, that Adobe, them. From the pitch, remember that? Them, y'all. I am so genuinely excited, and it's been less than a year since I quit my job to become a creative person. I've always been a creative person, but to finance myself through my creativity. And within a year, I already have a job with a company that, like, I've always wanted, because before this job, I gotta like bring the word back into my vocabulary. Before this job, I had only worked at nonprofits, and they were pretty small nonprofits. First one, literally like less than 20 people. Second one, huge compared to that. I had like just under like 200 people, which, you know, to me, I was like, wow.
Y'all have teams of 20?
And whenever people would ask me, oh, where do you work? I'd always say it. They would have no idea what that was. I would explain it for a paragraph. They'd be like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. I'd be like, thanks. It's alright. I've always wanted to have a job where I literally just say the name and people know exactly what I'm talking about. A name brand company. Now, I recognize there's some ego in that, okay? But just for me, I was like, I just would love to not explain myself. So the fact when people are like, oh, you doing some freelancing? Who are some of your clients? I can be like, well, one of them is Adobe. Have you heard of Photoshop? Have you heard of it? I'm literally using Premiere Pro to edit this video. The Premiere Pro, like, oh, it's so freaking cool. All right, so that's where I am freelancing right now. I'm not on the company letterhead or anything like that, but I'm gonna still claim it because it's dope and I think it's so cool. So let me talk a little bit about how I got this role and what I'm gonna be doing. Chances are you probably have a clue, which is Creator Camp. So I got to do Creator Camp summer 2021 because the awesome Halise DM'd me and told me about it. That literally like shifted my life trajectory because I went from this life of only doing creative stuff on the side. Sometimes I got to do creative stuff in my job, but like it was never the point of my job. It was always like, well, since you can already do video editing, you can already do some graphic design, go ahead and do this for the company for no additional amount of money. You know, he's still paying you that salary,
but go ahead and do this whole additional skill set that other folks could not necessarily bring to the job, and just do it as a part of your job.
So that was always what I was used to. So to go from that way of operating to being in a whole community of people who are just like, we literally love this so much. We are so talented and so good at this. We literally create things that are just such incredibly like high standard bar of excellence, you know? And we like are excited to help you also get really good at this. I'm just like, it was such a freaking gift. If you watched the video where I talk about how it was truly a game changer, you know that I literally watched that first lesson and I straight up wept. Like that was going on. There was probably some healing that was also going on there as well, but like part of it was just the reality of my life. I was like, this is so freaking cool, and I'm so grateful that people care enough to create these tools and to teach me and to help me so that I don't have to like struggle and do this by myself, you know? I think this might become my new barometer of like, if something is right for me, it's like, how much do I weep when I am engaged with it? Because Adobe just finished doing their Adobe Max conference. 3-day conferencing showcasing all the amazing technology that Adobe has and is developing, plus all these super cool creatives and all the different ways they're leveraging Adobe's technology to create their art and impact the world, and it's super beautiful. On the first day, they did a montage of this 3D technology they have and all the different ways the technology has been applied, from like major motion pictures to like in marketing and graphic design to like personal creative stuff. Literally, I wept and I tried to resist, okay? Because I was like, I imagined, I was telling my friend this, I was like, can you imagine, because she's in payments, I was like, can you imagine if you went to a conference about payments and you just turned to your left and somebody was just gently weeping and you're just like, are you okay? And she's just like,
I just love this so much. I just think it's so beautiful that we get to be a part of this. It just really moves me.
That's really what it was like. I was like, it's so cool because there's so many moving parts, right? Because Adobe as a company has like 20,000 people all over the world, something crazy like that. There's so many, like there's the people who are actually writing the code and developing the software and then using the technology and testing it out, and the creator, like there's so many different people who have to come together to make this stuff happen. And the reason they're doing it is for people like us who are creative to use these programs and platforms to make cool stuff. That's their whole reason for being, is for creative people to use the programs and do creative stuff. Like, it's so freaking cool. I could go on and on about this. Obviously, as y'all see, I'm very passionate about creative stuff and art and Adobe and the whole thing. Basically, when I got into Creative Camp, I was super excited. I immediately just like jumped headfirst into it, setting up calls with the mentors, setting up calls with the other creative campers, sharing my videos with the group, responding and watching other people's videos, all that stuff. I was like super into it because, you know, I used to run a fellowship at my last organization and people would always ask, how do I do well in this fellowship? And I would often say, you're always gonna get what you put in, full stop. So I knew that if I gave it my all, I would get so much from the experience, and that is exactly what has happened. And so I'm engaging on the online community, just like being very effervescent. Isn't that a fun word? I was just thinking about the term SAT word because I was gonna be like SAT word, but then I was thinking if I say something too much, it will become a catchphrase, because I realized that I love this for me /you/us has become one of my catchphrases. And I was like, how did this happen? And I'm not mad because I do be loving stuff for myself and for others, but I just think it's so interesting that I love this for you, and me and us is just like a new catchphrase of mine. Anyway, I was being my effervescent self all over the online community. One of the leaders reached out to me and was like, hey girl, we are relaunching Creator Camp. We're expanding it to more people. We're reducing the barriers to entry. We're gonna have a new online community space. Would you be interested in supporting it? And I was like, yes, I would. Literally, and I can say this now because you agreed to pay me money, I would do it for free. Like it comes naturally to, like, this is just what I would do anyway, of course. And I feel like I talked about this in the On My Spirit that I did a while ago, which is that I now know the feeling that I want to associate with anything professionally and also in my life, which is this feeling of just like, I am so lucky and grateful and honored and blessed that I get to be a part of like doing whatever this thing is. And low key, I feel like I'm scamming. And I feel like that. I'm like, I would easily just like go and like interact with other campers and watch their dope videos and share them and pour love upon them and promote my own content and like make connections and do collaborations and just promote the dopeness of the Creator Camp. It's literally what I did for free. So yes, of course, I will very gladly accept money to do it. Yes. When we think about the work we want to do professionally, until I joined Creator Camp, I didn't think that it was possible to genuinely love your life in that way, which is a bummer, because that was truly just this summer. There was still a part of me that thought there's just a part of life that just sucks, and it just is gonna suck and you can't escape it. It's literally not possible for all of life to be beautiful. Some of it has to suck. And there's like a spiritual yin and yang kind of whatever to that. I really just didn't question it, but to now be in a professional role where I'm like, this is just dope. Like, this is just cool. And I just want to encourage people, because I know a lot of folks watch my videos because they're somewhere in their professional career where maybe they aren't exactly where they want to be. So they see that I've quit my job and I'm just out here, and they want to see like, okay, it's possible to quit a job you don't like and still not die on the street, basically. And I want to say, yes, not only is that possible, but you can also get to work with cool companies and do dope dope stuff with them. Like, oh, that's possible too. It's not just the floor of like not being homeless. You can also just do really, really, really cool stuff. And I want to talk a little bit more about Creator Camp, since that's like the main program that I'm supporting. So yeah, they have reduced the barriers to entry. So if you're interested in learning more about Premiere Pro, being involved in a super dope community, getting support, getting help as you create, that is what the Creator Camp is for. If you join, you're gonna see me up in that community. You can talk to me, we can hang out, we can do collaborations. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be dope? I've included the link below if you want to go ahead and apply and join the program. Genuinely, it's so freaking cool. I'm so excited. I want to talk a little bit about some of the things, some of my fears, because we love to be vulnerable on my channel, right? And one of the fears I had when I first made that video about quitting my job was that I will never get another job again. I will never get a job that someone pay me to work again, because they'll Google my name, even if I'm all great in the interview or whatever, they'll Google my name and they'll be like,
oh, is she a quitter?
and not only is she a quitter, she's a public quitter.
You can't have that.
And I thought I was kind of just like sealing my fate with that video. And of course, as is always the case, the truth will set you free. And having this video that was vulnerable and honest and telling my story from my point of view, it allowed me to reach so many amazing people, including probably many of y'all who are watching now. And then it set me up to be in communities that I actually wanted to be in and practice and grow skills that I actually really, really care about. And that's only set me up for more opportunities and more success. And actually me being myself is what allowed me to get this opportunity. So just really want to emphasize the importance of not letting fear stop you from doing what you want, because there's such amazing, great stuff on the other side of that. The other fear that I have as this creative person who's working freelance is the sort of instability of it, right? Like, it's a freelance gig. At any point they could be like,
Actually, Chimdi, no.
and I could be like, okay, God's plan. Or of course I can just be like,
Actually, this doesn't really align with my values anymore.
then I can dip. But there's that lack of security, you know? And I think we know that nothing is truly secure. Of course, anything can happen at any moment. We think our salary roles are secure, but actually at any moment we could get downsized, or something could happen with the economy. Anything could happen at any point in time, and then boom, you're out of a job. So I think I know that of course nothing is really permanent in that sense, but it's nice to feel, it's nice to tell yourself that story. And working freelance, I can't tell myself that story. I have to live in the truth of life and of this moment, which is I'm in this moment creating and supporting and doing all this dope stuff. At any point in time, that could change. I actually had a conversation with somebody who recently like left their role, and they were in that transitionary period looking for the next thing, and they just wanted to like kind of chat with me. If you want to chat with me, by the way, I'm pretty open to it, honestly. I'm gonna be a little busy, obviously, in November, because stuff's popping off, but I would love to hold space for you. I want to create I'm gonna update my website and put like a Calendly on there, so you literally can just like click on a link and like we can just hop on a call and I could just hold space for you. It's something that I've really felt called to do. But I was holding space for her, and she was talking about some of the fears she had around quitting, and a major one being health insurance, right? Because we know that, especially in our American culture, if you get some kind of accident, whatever else happens, that can wipe out your entire life savings. And that's even, you know, with insurance, that can still like really mess you up. And so she had a lot of concern and fear around that. I totally get that. I think what I would kind of say to that is, yes, definitely save, be responsible, get yourself some Obamacare, like do what you gotta do. And we know that people have had amazing jobs and have still lost everything because of a health situation. That's like a larger dynamic that's going on. So yeah, as a freelancer who doesn't have health insurance, I'm just like, But I'm a big believer that I'm gonna be okay. Like, that's really just one of my fundamental principles of my life. It's one of my like core beliefs deep down inside. It's like, I'm gonna be all right though. Like, it's gonna work itself out. And if there is a challenge, if something comes up, I'll deal with it when it comes up. You know, I was chatting with a friend this morning and she was talking about how one of her challenges is the what ifs, like getting stuck in her head, going over every what if scenario. And I was saying like, yeah, I have those too, but I just add, if that happens, I'll deal with it when it happens. It's not happening right now. All I can do is be here in this moment where things are happening. I'm just beyond excited to share that I got this new gig. I really hope if you have quit your job or you're thinking about quitting your job and you're scared and you're in that period of like uncertainty, I just want to remind you that there's so much cool, dope stuff. There's so many amazing people who are rooting for you and are ready to help and support you. And you know in your heart what's the right path for you. I don't know. You know what's the right path for you. And when you follow what you know deep down is right, it's only gonna lead to good stuff. I promise. That's the video, y'all. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to see more. Let me know in the comments, do you have a dream job? Do you dream of labor? Do you dream of it? You know what's so cool is like, I couldn't have dreamed of it. Like Adobe, like, do you know what I mean? Like, they make the thing I use. I want some of y'all to be like, yes, I love laboring. I live for it. I'm so excited on Mondays, like labor. All right, y'all, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.